And we're live. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
I was in stereo.
Seriously. Well, hi. We've got Amanda Kai Childs in the studio with us this morning from Ephraim, and we're going to have so much fun.
No. This is a very serious situation.
Well, she's up early. This is not her time.
No, not even remotely. I'm 2 cups of coffee in, and it is not enough. This is not So my boss and I, Kristen and I, have an agreement that anything that's like before 9 a.m., all her.
Oh.
Anything that's after like 4 p.m., all me.
Yeah, that's kind of a good agreement. And I do recall that I've had Kristen on the show with me before.
Yeah.
She stopped by one of our lives, and one of my favorite places that's going, they're being sold, Cafe Chew. They're retiring.
Yeah.
They've had a great time. They've been wonderful.
Totally earned it.
Fabulous. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you talk about business owners that are like, and we're good.
Yeah, they're great.
We're retired now. Thank you. We're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had Kristen on the show with me, and we were outside, and it was cold, and it was fabulous. But yeah, it was really early.
Yeah, she's one of those people who like bounds out of bed. I'm convinced bounds out of bed and is like, la.
Is that how she wakes up?
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, the alarm's got to go off 4 times. I was coming in hot to get here, and my little calendar popped up to remind me that I was supposed to be at your studio in 10 minutes. And I literally thought to myself, what did I think that was going to do?
I don't know.
It was going to remind me 10 minutes before. Why would I set an alarm for 10 minutes before?
It's just the backup to the backup. It's always good to have the backup, though. You're subscribing to your own advice usually about things. You're pretty good like that.
I try. It's usually advice that I'm giving because I've learned it the hard way.
Yeah, it's also true. So we are here. I think everything is running smoothly, and I can actually hear myself at this point in time. I've stopped doing our sponsors prior to, just because I'm like, half the time our mic's off. Half the time I'm working for a different station that I work for, and I'm like, okay, is this thing on? Let's see if Stephanie can get it together. And on Friday, anything goes, so I never know what's working. I got to thank MBR Cleaning Services, offering weekly, bi-weekly deep cleaning services. Also, if you need that landscaping project done, definitely schedule them. This is the time of year that the time goes by so quickly.
I love Bruno and his team. Bruno's just a good human being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So happy, so smiley, and gets the job done. So you can give them a call, 508-280-0605. Online, mbRlandscaping.com. Got to thank Cape and Islands Kia, 760 Route 28 South Yarmouth. Love my little girl. She is my Lemonade-o mobile riding around town.
Yeah, if I had any doubt about whether or not I was at the right house, parking behind that wrapped vehicle.
You're like, yep.
Took
That's
the
where
doubt
I am
right
at.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's no anonymity, though, now when I go places. So I never know if people are waving at me.
Because you were so anonymous before. No one knew when you walked into a room.
Well, that's different, though. When I was driving around in my hunk of junk car that had 300,000 miles on it, because I am also a mother of 5, and I was like, we can't have nice things. I'm not getting anything nice.
Smart.
But now that I've gotten the big ones out, now we've just got the little ones that are teenagers who actually are the worst offenders, I'm realizing.
I got nothing.
They're slobs.
No, I can't do it.
Kai, here's the trash, and it gets right next to the trash. We tried.
That is such a pet peeve. I hate that. Really?
We tried.
You can't go the extra 6 inches to actually put it in the trash.
It's really the thing that makes me the angriest. I can't
explain. The thing? That's the one.
Thing.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
It's just... Don't. If you're going to not do it, then just don't do it. Don't fake it.
Just leave it under the bed like a normal person.
Exactly. And clean it up when we have company. That's the only time things get cleaned around here. I felt so bad. Kai wanders into the house where hello? It's Marco Polo when you get into my house, because you never know what equipment is going to be in the way, what my husband is working on, taking apart, refurbishing.
I'm not going to lie. I was afraid to start opening doors.
What's behind door 1?
I was like, where are you? I hear the voice.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to my dungeon.
I know. Well, next month I've got to have 4 Kazakhstani doctors living with us. So it's all in the name of Dunkin' Donuts.
Things come out of your mouth, and I know that you probably think that it makes perfect sense, but for the rest of us, what is the context?
I have J1 students stay with us in the summer.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because it defrays the cost around here, so we get to travel a little bit as a family. And also, I'm doing a service because we definitely need extra workers here in the summer.
Absolutely.
And also, it's a cultural thing. My kids get to learn from people from different places.
It's pretty cool.
And it is cool. Like last year, my Turkish girls were reading their fortunes and making them Turkish coffee. They brought us Turkish delights. It was like, it was cool. Granted, I don't know what they were doing in my bathroom because that thing is destroyed. And every single time there would be a mop and a squeegee. And I'm like, what are they doing there? I don't know.
But you're doing we need some housing. And
Yeah.
even if it is, a little bit of, you need a map
Yep.
in this house.
Yep.
There is housing.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But, just a little context for the rest of us.
I'm just used to a zoo all the time. Once again, having 5 children, it's a petting zoo around here. And then with the big ones gone, it's like quiet around here. And now that my 2 littles are teenagers, I'm like, does anybody need me? No. Oh, okay. I guess I'll go back to my work.
That's okay. That loss is a gain for the rest of the Cape Cod community.
I agree. Good morning. We have so many people checking in. RTB, Sam, Lauren. Lauren's currently in the accelerator program right now.
Lauren's in the thick of it right now. Yep.
She is fabulous. Her and I met when we were both at a nonprofit event, Kind Hearts for Kids, which is a fabulous event every single year. It is for foster kids, and it goes to benefit so that they just feel regular. You know what I mean? They're not carrying their stuff around in trash bags. She gives them suitcases, and she does an amazing job putting this all together. So Lauren and I met as both volunteers for this organization, and we've just become friends virtually.
She's not hard to be friends with.
No. And so then we met for the first time at one of our ice skating things that I did with another E for All member from Wild Water Collective. We got another one
Rock
coming
Nights.
up.
Yeah.
Our Rock Nights.
It's April, right?
Yeah, April 8th. They sell out to the point now we opened up another tier of tickets where you can bring your own skates, because that's really the only reason why we run out of skate rentals.
Cool.
Because, they're like, why is there a number on the arena? There's no skates. Sorry. It is what it is. Good morning,
That's awesome.
Carol from Florida. Yeah, and that goes to benefit some parts of We Can, the longboard competition, and some of the other things that We Can does in the community, which is fabulous. They've got their new open house. They've got a new building that they opened up in Hyannis. And that open house is coming up on the 29th over at We Can. So
They've got some great programs.
They really do.
Really hugely helpful.
if you need a lawyer, if you're recently single, if you're struggling with absolutely anything and you're a female, go see We Can, because they'll
they're
figure
great.
out. And if they don't know, they'll find it for you, which I like. You know what I mean? They don't leave you in the lurch.
No,
like
they're
not
awesome.
for us. That's not going to happen there. So it is a good community there. Good morning, Serafina.
Oh, hi, Serafina.
And good morning, Marie. Marie Younger Blackburn is working on. Oh, you have a J1 student? You also do them? I enjoy the experience. It's not for everyone, but I really do. And I like that there's a timestamp. Like if it doesn't work out and there's
You
a
can see light at the
personality
end of the
clash. Yeah, it's not for long. So you're like, oh God, no, never again with that. And whether it's one, this year we have 4. So this is a new experience for us.
But you raised 5 kids, so it's not really that new of an experience.
And
for
they
you.
work a lot. They really do. And other than driving them to the grocery store because they don't have a vehicle, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I really do enjoy it. So yeah, Lauren, how are you handling things?
They're like I said, the accelerator right now, they're in the valley. They're in the tough spot. It's like this is right before you start doing like all the big money spreadsheets and it's they're in the thick of it. But it serves a good purpose. It gets you there.
Yeah. Well, and it's honestly, I had this conversation with Kai a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week, where we were sitting there and I said, I had no idea where I was, even after I had finished it. Even if I wrapped up the full year, it wasn't until like this year where I've really gotten it in my business and I'm headed in the direction that I want to be. But I mean, it's taken a lot. And it's a process within me too.
Yeah, everything takes longer than we expect it to. Like
Yeah.
we have this picture in our head and we're like, oh, great, that's no problem.
Just flip this switch and now it's on. That is not how it is. That is
Crap,
not.
there's a reason why people don't work for themselves. This is hard, man.
Yeah.
But, the rewards of being able to say, like, I built this and this is the thing that I'm making happen and look at me, like, overcoming challenges and being awesome huge. So,
I had a boss
proud of
bitchin'
you.
lunch yesterday with my girlfriend Joy over at Sea Salt, and she's like, "They don't get it, Stephanie. They don't get it." She cracks me up with her Boston accent, the sing-songy way that she speaks. But we were just talking about because I'm now introducing workers and I'm introducing employees, and
that's a whole.
It's
That's
a whole
new
thing.
dynamic.
It's a whole dynamic
Yeah.
of stressors, because not only are you worrying about it for you, you're worrying about it for them, and there's just a lot happening. So
Yeah.
it was nice to have another lunch, and I think that's another thing that E4All does is it's a community of other business owners. So people that really truly get your stress.
Well, I think so. All right, let me.
Here she goes.
Here I go. So we have this myth, right? We have this American myth of we pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. It's the one guy in the garage who built an empire, and like that's not the reality of running your own business. There is no success is. Simon Sinek says it, and I love it. Success is a team sport.
Yeah.
Failure you can do by yourself. Success is a team sport. You need those people who like you can celebrate with, or you can cry with, or just somebody that understands where you're at. And having that support system is huge. And
Yeah.
we discount it, but taking care of yourself, self-care is a business skill. Your business suffers if you're suffering internally.
Yeah.
So you got to do it.
I made myself get a facial yesterday, and I thought about canceling it 4 times that morning. And then I was like, this is my pep talk to me. I even wrote it down so I would have to follow up on it.
Oh,
Like,
I'm so
I am
proud of
going
you.
on this. I am doing this. I need to do this. And then I followed it. She was like, do you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, yes, I do. Even though there are 1,000,005 things I really need to be doing, I needed to take the time away because my brain is fried, and I was hateful yesterday. And I say it, but I say it with a smile on. I'm trying to make my brain stop. I was hateful yesterday. I was like, this is fine. Everything's fine. You know that meme where everything's burning behind you and you're just like, I'm okay.
I feel like that's just generally life, though.
Blink once if you're alive in there. Okay, no, it's dead inside. So, yes. So we're going to be talking a little bit about business stuff, but I was like, Amanda, what do you want to talk about? You're like, I got a fun story about Pilates. So you're on this new fitness journey.
Yeah. Okay. So,
But it's been a while. You've been doing this for a bit.
it's taken me 2 years to work up to it.
You got to start somewhere.
So first of all, let's be clear. I'm not on a fitness journey because I'm already toned and in shape. Okay? This is I don't want to have a heart attack by 45, so I got to do something.
Yeah.
And that something involves sweating in public a lot. I'm a sweater. It's not pretty.
Fun fact about Kai, everyone.
Yeah.
She sweats.
I'm like the double towel. It's not pretty. So I started, my niece dragged me to spin classes 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
I took a spin class and I couldn't walk for 3 days afterwards. So that was great.
Yeah, there's
And I
a
was
lot involved in there. The
I was
whole
like,
butt thing.
I'm
the
never doing
legs.
this again.
Yeah.
And then the next week I was like, all right, well, I got to do, it's got to be better the second
Yeah.
time. So 2 years later, I've joined a new fitness studio. Shout out to Elite Nation.
They're awesome over there. Yeah.
In Marston's Mills, they're awesome. So they have a whole bunch of classes that I've never done. So
Yep.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to try all the things. So yesterday I tried Pilates for the first time. Now, I have been doing this long enough that I know that I'm going, I know my limitations. So I got there 20 minutes early. I'm stretching. I'm my quads are always on fire. So I'm stretching the quads, doing the whole thing. And so we started and it's hard.
Yep.
But I'm holding my own. And she's like, okay, so today is abs day. And I'm like, wait, I was stretching my
You're
quads.
like, this is the warm-ups?
Wait, what? I don't have those. So
Mine are deeply protected for their safety.
exactly. So I did okay. I mean, there were some things I couldn't do, but I felt like a okay. We're gonna talk about swearing in a minute.
You're allowed to do so here.
Okay. So I felt like a badass. So I'm like, I'm doing the things and I'm great. And so I accomplished most of it. This morning, I woke up and I was up early because I needed to get here. And I rolled out of bed and crawled to my bathroom.
Isn't that the worst?
In order to get the Aleve so that I could try to stand upright, because who knew that abs are required to stand upright? Did you people know this? Because I never knew.
That's where the word core comes in. Now you know what it's like.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole thing. I was like, oh God, this is what people say when they're talking about
Now
using
I
your
know
core.
what it is.
I never knew. So if you see me like sort of hunched over a little bit this morning, it's because I thought I was a badass.
No, don't touch her. Let her breathe through it.
No, I've learned the difference. It's okay. It's okay.
Some of those fun moments. There's a wonky toilet in Tomatillo's. And there was one time that I was starting to do legs again.
I know where this is going because I've been there.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm so glad that they have the emergency, like, oh, shit handle.
You have to pull yourself.
Because I had to pull myself up there. But I flumped down so hard on that thing that, like, you could have heard the entire restaurant heard me fall into the toilet.
So I tried a bar class at one point. Have you seen this? It's like like the ballerina workout.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. So I go in and it's like, first of all, everybody in there is over 60. So I'm like, yes, these are my people. Perfect. Right?
I would like to take the class with the aged people. Thank you. I'll feel as if I'm good.
Thank you. So I'm doing this bar class and it's like, okay, so you go up on your toes and then you go down on your heel. Okay, no problem. What I didn't know is it's basically aerobics, but on your toes. So I'm sweating buckets because as we've
She's
established,
a sweater.
I'm a sweater.
2-towel sweater.
I'm like, this one was like, just get me the 5-gallon bucket. So I'm dying.
So they roll out the tarp.
Yeah, dying, right? And there's these little old ladies who are just kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Kicking my ass. That was another one that I couldn't
They're
walk down my stairs for 3 days.
Their life is doing those exercises.
Yeah, okay. Give me some kind of reason to feel better about my lack of
Work on
ability,
it.
but you know.
I'm working on it. There's
And then-
always an excuse, Amanda.
And then I'm sadistic because I suck so hard and I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And then I did it last weekend. I did another bar class last weekend. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
It's awesome.
But I can't. I come out of the class and they're like, how was your class? And I'm like, I keep reminding myself that in order to feel the thrill of victory, I have to taste defeat.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not dying. I feel great. Feel so good.
Yeah.
Everything's numb from the neck down. Do it again tomorrow. See you back here.
I am to the point where I'm doing something most days of the week.
It's good though. It does get better, you know? But those struggle moments are like, oh.
Yeah, you gotta embrace the pain, embrace the struggle.
Yeah, right.
Get a little bit better.
Lauren, it gets easier. What's my motto? Practice makes progress.
I do love that. She says that a lot. Practice
do
makes
like
progress.
it.
I do love that.
Good
Yeah.
morning, Mari. Doug Kennedy said you are a boss.
Hi,
Go
Doug.
boss.
Mwah.
Who else is out there? Alex, thanks so much for checking in. Sue Toplansky.
Oh, hi,
Sue. Cam. We got a lot of people checking in today. Amy.
Sue's Instagram feed, Sue Unleashed, is like when you have to like cleanse your palate of life, go check out Sue Unleashed because it's just cute puppies.
Yep.
Cute puppies. It's great. And she does all this
Captured
work.
beautifully.
Yeah, well, she does all this work where she sets up these backgrounds and then she cleans them up. And so, like, the leash magically disappears.
That's what is very, very cool.
And it's just beautiful. And it just makes you happy.
Yeah.
So when you need the reset, go check out Sue Unleashed.
After Pilates, look at puppies. That's our
Not gonna lie,
charge to
I
you.
sat in that parking lot for a couple of minutes before I tried to put my foot on the pedal. Because, you know, I didn't know if I had that much muscle control.
Right? You're like, oh my God, what if I'm one of those people that drives into a building now?
Right.
Now I get why those people do that.
I understand
They put their foot on the gas because they can't lift it up. They can't. That's what happened.
No word of a lie.
And that
No word of a
seemingly
lie.
happens a lot here on Cape Cod, where people drive through buildings. Maybe
And I'm
that's
sure
it.
that's completely unrelated to the fact that our population, we have 3 times the elderly population of the rest of Massachusetts, and that is an actual stat.
What time, at what age do you think it's time to really start giving them eye exams yearly? At what point?
Well, I mean, I shouldn't be driving at 42, so it's already too late.
Hey, listen, I'm a passenger princess also. I would prefer someone else to drive me around for the rest of my life just because it's, I don't like driving.
Yeah, but then they have to sit behind the wheel of the Stephanie mobile.
That's true. So drive me around. I'm a princess, a demented one in my Kia.
Demented princess. Like, I feel like that should be your name tag.
I think so. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So speaking of demented, this one,
What?
Kai, you will find her wherever we are, whether it's a bar or a restaurant, a place, with a book in hand. There could be a loud band playing on the stage, and this one's in the corner. reading her book. I think it's great.
But so weird.
It is bizarre.
It's so weird. Well, like I am the person that I walk into the restaurant or bar and they're like, "What are you reading today?" And like you would be amazed how many conversations it strikes up though. And there's actually a lot of readers out there.
I appreciate. I'm also. I do my very best to read. Although I was thrown out of book club, I think just because, or maybe we ended book club because I would read the wrong book.
You were never on the right book. It was like actually impressive.
It was, yeah, and it wasn't on purpose. I wasn't trying to be funny.
I would send an email twice with like, here's the topic, here's the book that we're reading this month. And you'd show up and you'd be like, oh, I read next month's book.
I was like, I thought the other was a girl.
That's fine.
Okay, this is the wrong book again. I did it again. I'd either be a month ahead or a month behind.
It was genuinely impressive.
So bad. So I've got another one that I just started, and I'm the queen of getting through like 6 or 7 chapters and not finishing or getting sidetracked.
Okay, that's making me twitch.
See, I knew it.
I can't do that. Even if I hate the book, I have to finish it. I can't.
I have a stack of them beside my bed that are all almost done.
Do you see me right now? My palms are sweating.
It's itching.
I'm literally, I can't do it. I am so completionist. Okay.
No, we didn't grow up together, but why our weirdness matches. We spent the whole accelerator together.
Yeah.
And she probably got off the camera and was like, what is this girl doing?
No, okay,
How
so
does she even have a business?
wait,
happening?
wait, I'm still on you don't finish books. Okay.
See, I didn't finish that conversation.
Yeah. I am the person. So one of my hobbies is I like to play video games.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of what I do for work is social. And so I'm not one of those people who goes online to play video games. Like I want to be left alone and I want a story. So I play these RPG games or whatever. Okay, I'm dork. It's in her notes. Dork, right? But I am the person who's like, I am going to wring every cent of value out of this game. And so I play completionist every game.
Okay.
So I am 208 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, that's over like 3 years because who has time for that?
Right, exactly.
But I am down to, in order to complete the game, I have to finish 2 rock puzzles, which I cannot get. And That's it. 2 rock puzzles standing between me and completion. I'm going to have a stroke.
Have people tried to offer you suggestions or ways to get around said rocks?
Oh, dude, like I YouTube this stuff. I'm YouTubing the solution because I'm like, I am 208 hours into this. And yeah.
That's got to be really annoying.
So how do you not finish a book?
That looming death, because you're a list maker. You're a box checker.
I am. I absolutely am.
There are certain people that are that way.
Yeah. If it needs to be color coded, alphabetized, and categorized, I'm your girl.
That's seriously, you're organized, and that's wonderful because I feel like you have to be. It's a skill. It's an emerging skill for me. like a second.
When will it emerge?
A second grade. I don't know. It's a second grade report card, and it's still we're working on that. It's like in progress. It's like the NA.
Yeah.
I'll eventually get there. I'm getting better about it. But I'm definitely not there yet.
Yeah, you got to be. I feel like my pendulum swings a little too far the other direction, though. So, try to find the middle ground there.
That's it. I need to find a business partner that's like you. That way we can lean on each other or drive each other mad. Either way.
Yeah.
It could go either way. It really, there's a personality situation in there. Also with the books, though, I'm really glad that you do that because it's nice to see someone, even if they're alone or with a partner, reading instead of being on the mother flippin'.
I have a thing about it. I have a thing about not having your phone in front of you all the time. And I'm guilty of it.
I'm so guilty of it now.
I'm wicked guilty of it. And so it's kind of like me trying to be a better human being and it's still up in the air.
Right? When I was just a radio personality, I'd be like, I know I have my phone in here somewhere. Might be in my bag. Maybe I left it in my other pants. Now that I run a business, it's like, oh my God, I got another email. And it's never ending. So I made a conscious effort last night to just put it down, put it away. And you know what? I actually slept well.
It's hard. It's actually hard though. So there was this photo project where this photographer took pictures of people, in relationships, kids, parents, all that stuff, and airbrushed out the cell phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, boy, does it, like, you look at it and you're like a family all at dinner and they're all looking down. And like, when you take that out of the picture, you're like, oh my God, no wonder we feel so lonely and isolated.
Yeah, that is a rule in our house when we have family dinner is that the devices do not come to the dinner table because that's like the one time we actually talk to each other.
It's like crack. Like these things are actually designed like crack to stimulate your brain in the same way. So it is actually conscious effort, which, like I said, I'm 50-50, 60-40. But
yeah, because you're also a gamer.
Yes.
And you're also a podcast junkie. Yesterday, NPR canceled 4 of their major ones
and
the BBC network.
Invisibilia. I love Invisibilia.
Okay, so what is that one about?
So Invisibilia is like the hidden forces that influence us as individuals and as a culture. And it takes the things that we don't think about and forces you to think about them.
Okay.
And so, but it hasn't run for a while, so I'm guessing that's why.
Yeah,
it can't because
the budget cuts. I mean, it's top down everywhere right now. Everything costs more. Everything is really difficult as far as. And I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer and get into our economy and the situation that is, but it is just the way that arts, I feel, is the one that gets cut the most. When we're cutting budgets, which is crazy because that is directly related to mental health. So, which is a big problem.
So I'm looking at it, and I am currently subscribed to 25 different podcasts.
So what about podcasts that you like? What are your favorites?
Okay, so I have a couple that are my favorite economists because, as everyone does, I have my favorite economists.
Right. Who's your favorite economist?
Well, I have a British one and I have an American one.
Do tell.
So Tim Hartford is known as the undercover economist in Britain. And then out of the University of Chicago, I love Steve Levitt.
Okay.
And they both do natural experiments in economics. So they look for weird data points that happen naturally, and then they analyze the data.
It's a lot of math.
It's really interesting.
I mean, it's fascinating. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely sit there for a conversation on it. Would I follow it? Probably no, but I wouldn't walk away from a conversation like that because I'm down for pretty much anything. I'm like, what are we doing today? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got that one. And let's see. I do a lot of like neurology. So I've got Hidden Brain with Vin. I'm gonna kill his name. Never mind. But Hidden Brain is like the neurology and psychology of
why we do what we do.
Yeah, but it's like the everyday stuff. Like, are you sensing a theme? Like, I like the things that like are everyday actions that we don't think about.
Yeah,
and forcing us to think about it. And then also,
but then there's the actual science behind it.
Yeah. And I have one that's the science of happiness.
Okay.
So it's like all like happiness practices and how do we generate gratitude and happiness in our lives. But then there's also the true crime. So like the serial killer, what is that one called? Murder brain, psycho. Oh,
there's a lot of them. That is the number one genre.
Killer psyche.
The number one genre of podcasting.
She was
the true crime
FBI profiler, and so she takes the case file and analyzes it like a profile in real time.
See, I like them for long drives. I got sucked into this one murder mystery that was like an Australian case, and all of a sudden I'm listening to it just because I like the Australian accent. It sounded like I was
Science Versus. That's a good one. If you like the Australian
I really
accent,
do. I'm like, oh, this sounds fun.
Science Versus. I like More Perfect, which is an in-depth on Supreme Court cases. So here's the thing. I am such a junkie that I am the person who listens to it at double speed or 2.5 speed. And so I've actually had family members come into the room and they're like, is that English? And I'm like, yeah, it's just really fast. They're like, why? I'm like, because I have 800 hours of podcasts to listen to.
Because I get to hear more faster now. Don't you understand? This is the way it is. Faster. I love that.
Not okay.
No.
I'm not okay.
It's all right. Good morning, Lisa. And about to listen to how to get my bozo dog to behave. Oh, there you go. I love Charlie Brown. He's the cutest. Good morning, Norma. And yeah, it is all about balance, happy thoughts, and serial killers.
Right?
There you go.
Who is that? That's great.
That was Lauren.
Lauren gets me.
It's totally true. See, I do more informational, self-helpy stuff, which is definitely, it's a specific thing, but also I just look for something different. I'm currently working with one of my pods right now. That's What's Toking. And it's two middle-aged women finding wellness through weed. And they are a show. They are a TV show. And I'm finding it hard to edit it because I don't.
Because you enjoy it all.
I'm 100% in it. I'm like, I have to remove myself from the studio sometimes because I was like, this is either going to get them canceled or this is going to get them like revered.
I listen to Fit Fat Chat. That's when you produce?
Yep, Ayana and Christy do such a good job. They're really funny, and now they've added video to the mix, which is a whole nother level.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, well, it was really funny because I put Christy in here, but I cleared off the desk, and then I accidentally left a tambourine, and there was no way she was not gonna not play the tambourine.
Did you accidentally?
I did, because it was just one of those things. She's like, no, you can leave that. She just kind of put her hand on it. You can leave that. It's like, all right, tambourine it is. Absolutely. I find myself in bizarre places where tambourines are involved. I was at,
that tracks.
Yeah, we were at the Thurwood place, and I brought instruments for them all to play on St. Patrick's Day. So they had the lady, I want the cowbell. And damn it, Rosita got the cowbell, and she was cowbelling it up for an hour. Awesome. It was absolutely so fun. So anytime I get to play with people, it makes my heart happy. So that is really how we've pivoted kind of in our business, because I'm full with the pods. I've got some really great ones, but I've got ones that are much more time consuming that I had planned for. So we're kind of pivoting into the entertainment arena and playing games, all sorts. I feel like Mary Poppins, right? Wasn't that our line? Play games, all sorts. So that's where we ended up doing music bingo and trivia and just something for a couple of hours where you're not glued to your dang phone. You're not doing the same thing.
Unless you're playing music
unless it's music bingo and you don't know and you have to Shazam things.
Shazam,
and that's fine
not
too.
That I would know or anything.
But you know what? It gets a conversation going with a group of people where they're like, did you Shazam it? Did you look it up? Is it that one? This is saying another thing. And they're actually talking to each other, and it's really fun to watch that happen. And we're doing sober parties, which is really nice because it's another way for people to connect in a different setting. And I just want people to start actually talking to each other, put the device down for a little bit, and have a good time. And it's proven for your happiness and your mental health to play games. We is
are
good.
Social little apes, man.
I know. I love that because we really are social little apes. Yes, I definitely want to do an adult night at the Children's Museum for sure.
Ooh, that'd be fun, Lisa.
Yeah, night at the museum. I've been begging her to do it. Obviously, nothing's going to come alive, but I mean, we could have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So not only do you, Kai is, what is your official title with E4All?
Program manager is the official title.
Or, sweat cleaner upper, tear dryer, therapist.
Yeah. You know what? We talk about all of the technical skills that you need as a business owner. We talk about you need the insurance and you need the accounting and like that stuff gets talked about. I feel like we don't talk enough about like you also need to cultivate self-confidence and you also need to like it's emotional. Like in a perfect world, it would just be numbers on a page, but it's not. Like we are our businesses, like quite literally sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can't separate those two things. So that whole piece of like having to make some space for that. So yeah, I'm a business class and I make people cry.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you dry their tears afterwards. It's almost abuse, but not because they signed up for it. So they're there for it.
I do get some sadistic pleasure. I will be honest, but I will say that you are getting revenge for every alumni who has had to fill out what I call the Big Mama spreadsheet. Wait for it, spring 23, it's coming.
It's awful.
You are getting revenge for all of them because I had to be up at 5:50 a.m. to get my butt here in time. So
my
they should
time.
send you a fruit
My
basket
time.
or something because this is not my hour.
Well, not only do you do that, but you do other things in your day involving in that. So my favorite is my ask me anything. So she'll just show up somewhere and be like, I'll just sit here. And if you want to ask me anything about anything, you go right ahead. It's like a traveling help desk.
It
Who
is.
came up with this idea? I love it.
It's fun because it gets me out of my own little bubble and it gets me a chance, even if nobody shows up to ask something about a business, it's fun because I'll go to Provincetown Commons, I go to Chatham Works, I go to Keep Space, I go to Love Live Local. I go and I get to see my people.
Yeah.
And otherwise I would just be sitting on my couch in my robe working on my email. So
And I think that that's super important. I found that this week even that I needed to get out of my cave, my studio. I sit so long, and when I'm standing up and I'm like, oh my God, hip flexors. What are those? And then I realized I've just been.
I stood up too fast. I'm dizzy.
But when you've done a task for too long and you need a fresh space, and that's kind of what that is physically, where you can go and talk to somebody about some question. What's the weirdest question someone's ever asked you?
I don't really. I'm sorry. I don't have a good story for that one.
No?
I don't really get. It's pretty straightforward. Like the question I get a lot is like, so is E for all for me? And like if you're asking the question, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And I think trying to make it more accessible and less intimidating.
Yeah, because honestly, we in my cohort, as we're called, it ran the gamut for businesses. It was all different kinds, shapes, faces, kinds of business, brick and mortars and virtual, and just absolutely every space a business can kind of work into. So it was really neat to
It's
see
fun.
everyone's development and help in that.
Oh, this is my reminder to meditate. Hang on, let's snooze that.
Hold that reminder, please.
What's fun is like when I started this job, I was like, whew, I need to find 30 new businesses every year on Cape Cod that wants to launch. Are there that many people actually opening businesses on Cape Cod?
I said the same
Holy
thing.
crap, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the so many ideas and energy that's out there, and it's like so much fun to get a chance to meet people and be part of that journey, because I had no idea. I had no idea that we had this much thoughtfulness on Cape Cod.
Yeah, right. Badass program manager. I knew it. RTB and sweet revenge, said Serafina. I love it.
Oh yeah. I think I might have made Serafina cry on the spreadsheet. It's possible.
Yeah, I think we bonded over that. I think Serafina and I bonded over that at a chamber event. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, you cried too? We did too. We're friends. Now we're friends.
I'm pretty sure I had to talk her down off the ledge if I remember correctly.
But now she comes back. Like, that's what I
Yes.
like, that everybody comes back and you're like, not only do we live, but we're thriving.
But you know what? That's what I love about, like, it's my part in this is so small because we are so volunteer driven, and so many of the like, that's my thing. Like, the program is free, but if you get anything out of it, I expect you to show up and help somebody else.
That's it.
And so many of you have done that. You've come back as mentors. You've come back as subject matter experts. You've come back and done an entrepreneur tell-all. And it's that whole thing of like having people to connect with and recognize that you're not alone, even when it feels like hell. You're not alone.
Or when it's over, they're still out there too.
Yeah,
so that's really
absolutely.
nice. And
Yeah.
I could ask any single person from my cohort, even if we haven't talked in 2 years, hey, by the way, blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, oh, hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da.
You know what I love is like, it's like a secret password.
Yeah.
It's like hashtag E for all fam.
Yeah,
So you can walk
exactly.
in somewhere and you can be like, I'm an E for all alum. And they'll be like, oh, you too, which cohort? And it becomes
A talking point.
Yeah. It becomes a place where you can connect and bond over, oh, you were tortured by Kai? Me too.
It's true. And then we have get-togethers, so we have therapy over it. It's great. Not only that, you can win money for this. So it's
Yeah.
not just, here you go. I think that is kind of what brings people to the program. It's what brings everyone to the yard. That milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And then we're like, oh, wait a minute, this is work. Oh, it's more work and work.
Well, and you know,
Disguised as work.
I try to warn people because I'm like, listen, it's like picking up a part-time job. Like it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And yes, you can win some money, but I am going to suck a whole lot of your time and attention for 3 months. And like, Tell your family you love them,
Right.
and you'll see them in 3 months.
Exactly. And also the pitch competitions, because that's something
Yeah.
completely separate. And it's usually about community issues we have.
Yeah.
And I know you've done a lot of blue water stuff. We've done housing, which continues to be a serious crisis here on the Cape. It's just, we don't have houses for people.
No, not at all. And so we did. That was a pitch contest we did with Provincetown Commons. And again, it's really interesting, like the gamut of ideas that come up. And one of the things that came out of that for me was I was like, wow, there's a lot of good ideas, and we probably need to implement all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And but trying to get the oomph to do that. So our next one that we're doing with Provincetown Commons is on the blue economy.
Okay.
So wait, let me back up because once again, I'm ahead of myself. So the pitch contest is sort of like, it's a one night only. It's a fun event and anybody can apply and pitch an idea. They have 2.5 minutes to pitch their idea.
And she means anybody. So it can be a youth entrepreneur as well. I mean, it runs the gamut of anyone.
Yeah.
Literally anyone.
It does. It does. And I'll teach people how to pitch. So if you've never done it before, if you have no experience, if you've never pitched or you run your business, so you just have a crazy idea that you want to see if you can make it fly.
You're like, what am I going to squeeze in 2 minutes? Let's do this.
And I'll teach you how to do it. And so our next one is blue economy. So anything that is related to water, coastline, all that kind of stuff. So like I have a friend who wants to teach people how to actually captain their boats, which would be lovely if you've ever been on the water on July 4th.
Red, right, return.
Yeah, exactly. So like but we have an alum who she polishes conch shells into this beautiful jewelry, Cape Cod booty.
I do.
Might ring a bell, but like that's an example.
That's her mentor. Hey, Deb, shout out.
Yes.
She's got something new that she's working on. So it looks absolutely beautiful.
But like, seat a table restaurant, that would be, so anything that's so.
Oh, I like that. Seat a table.
Seat a table. So the applications are open until March 31st. And then you go in and you throw your idea out into the universe and you never know who's in the room. So we do try to get people in the room who might be interested or helpful. So like usually our panel of judges, I think we have some people coming from Hui.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's Kristen's. That's Kristen's bag. So don't quote me on that. But we're trying to get people from the community that are involved and can actually, potentially
foster those ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
We threw out great ideas. There's not nobody listening. There
Yeah.
are people in that industry that might employ them.
And then there's
that's even better.
And then there's 4 cash prizes.
Yeah, and then there's money involved and also fan favorites.
Yes.
So even if it's not the whatever, but you just shined at your pitch and everyone was like, wow.
And you brought your family and friends. I tell people, like, stack the audience.
Absolutely. You need
Stack the
support.
audience, yeah.
Because that's another thing that we don't talk about is the fact that you just really need that support system.
Yeah.
And it's not always just your colleagues. It's got family, friends, anybody, your chosen family. However you deal with people.
The people
in
who
your
live
life.
in your house with you and have to listen to you talk about it 24/7.
Yep. They need to support you.
They are a huge part of this program. Even though they're unseen, they are still a huge part of this program because most of our folks don't get through it without a little help from their family and friends.
Yeah.
You need somebody to pick up the slack at home when you're in the throes of it.
Seriously, though, I was laughing. Our question of the day, and I always post a question just because it's a conversation starter, an icebreaker, whatever the heck's going on. I'm sure you have similar things when you're getting together with groups and you've got your deck of the questions that you ask them so that they can kind of learn how to talk to each other and get along. It's a participation thing. And I'm just asking how many TVs are in your house just because I have a disgusting amount and I should not be watching them as much as I am. I'm charging people with getting the hell out of your house. It's spring. We're supposed to be outside doing yard work. We're supposed to be outside getting some freaking fresh air. I know for me, I'm like seasonal depression at this point in time. Like I just need to
hardcore.
get the hell out of my house.
Yeah, hardcore. Winter is not my season. So I have a 12-year-old dog who is half cattle dog, half terrier. She's blind. She's selectively deaf.
I love that.
She has a bad hip, but she still loves to hike. And so I am very excited about getting out of the house and hiking again when it's a little bit warmer.
I know. Yeah.
Cold
We're not
makes me
quite there
angry.
yet.
Cold makes me angry.
Some fun facts about Kai. Cold makes her angry.
It really does. It
But
just makes me
this might be a thing to get you out of the house. Go watch a pitch competition
come.
first.
It's fun. They're fun.
Because it's coming up at the end of the month. So I think it's definitely worth just a watch to get the idea of.
And there's an all-you-can-eat raw bar featuring local shellfish.
Hello. Well, that's a selling point right there.
I mean, right?
That's a date. That's a free date night.
Yep. There you go.
I'd say yes to that. For sure. And a ride to Provincetown, which is a magical place. Absolutely.
And like it's early in the evening, so go up to Provincetown, do a day on Commercial Street, go hit the pitch contest,
Yeah.
and have a nice time. Enjoy it's late enough. It's April 19th-ish, something like that. 14th. I don't know. It's late enough that there'll be some stuff open.
Yeah.
So come.
Well,
check it out.
they're getting better too about more seasonal stuff that they're continuing to open because once again we have a lot more people that are year-rounders on the Cape, and that's kind of another problem because as people we just need houses. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So the Cape Cod Commission just did put out a study not too long ago about what the population changes have been since COVID, and it's really interesting.
Oh, the amount of people that came and stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that came and stayed or is coming and planning to stay within the next 5 years.
Yeah, and then the seasonal neighborhoods that were always empty are not
as
empty
much,
anymore.
Not as much. There's a lot of people who just came down here for COVID and it was like, once they realized, I can work remotely, they were like, why would I go
Yeah, that's
anywhere
definitely
else?
changed the landscape and the
Yeah.
worker mentality around here, especially in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been wild that it's been 3 years since
know.
our COVID cohort. We were virtual. What is the difference in being together? It's got to be so much better.
Yeah, so we're doing hybrid now because
Okay.
what we discovered is that doing the virtual classes allows some people to participate who wouldn't have otherwise been able to do.
Yeah.
So we do still, most of the classes are virtual, but we do like 5 or 6 dates in person. And I legit feel bad for the first cohort that I was able to do an in-person class because my energy level was like, up here.
It's been a really long time since I've been allowed to see
This is gonna be great. And I think I scared some people that first class.
She's a lot, huh?
But it's fun. It's fun to be able to have the convenience of the virtual, but still be able to do some stuff and some events in person. And this last cohort that just graduated fall 2022 is the first one where we've actually been able to do their graduation in person since COVID.
Yay.
So that was awesome. Like that is like
So fun.
That's my jam. It makes me so happy. Like I have to work hard to have a bad day at work. I really do.
Yeah.
And so that was another one that I was wearing like the prom dress. Like it was totally way overdressed.
Hi, it's me. I'm out. I have a core now.
Exactly.
Look at me.
I still don't have a car.
Yes, you do. Oh, Dawn. Oh, so Dawn is on the West Coast, and she said she wants a refund on the Sunshine. She was one town away from where that landslide was.
Oh, God.
Like half of California fell off on a cliff yesterday.
That's not reassuring.
No, that's not fun at all. I know. I hope it stops raining for you. My friends that sold the brown jug and sandwich moved out to California. They said it's raining. They finally got their moving truck out there, and it's done nothing but rain on all of their stuff. It's like, he goes, I'm not even enjoying sitting and pointing where I want my furniture delivered to because it's raining.
Poor thing.
Oh, Muffin. It's raining out there where it's still 70. You poor thing.
Yeah, my heart breaks.
We just don't have those. I don't have a Me Too for you right now. I just don't. I absolutely don't. And I love in-person meets. Hybrid's fantastic. Only half of the time we have to wear pants. That's good.
So what is somebody from, I think he might have been in your cohort, called it the Zoom mullet, where it's business on top,
Absolutely.
party on the bottom.
Absolutely. You never know what I had under there. But half the time I didn't have anything under there. It's fine. It's good stuff. Okay, I'm going to turn off my camera.
As you're saying this and people can only see you from,
I have pants on today.
and I thank you for that.
I had actual work pants, like professional pants on Wednesday. And Tori had joined me on the show and she's like, do you have pants on? Like, yeah, like going somewhere today, like dressed up for the office. I'm like, I know. To go to the bank. I'm dealing with things. Seriously. To be seen in public. Ugh.
I put lipstick on for you this morning.
I feel really privileged.
You should.
It's a big day. Are you doing anything fun this weekend? Do you ever have a weekend? Do you have like a set schedule that you try and like be with spouse and like go places. No.
Because our schedules are just so wonky that it's like it's a day by day thing. But my weekend schedule, yes, I have big plans this weekend. Actually,
Ooh.
yeah, this is a deep clean weekend.
Oh,
So this is the
it's got to be done every once in a while, man.
every other week.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Have you met me?
Well, yes, I have.
So this is my twice a month. This is my deep clean. So big doings this weekend.
Oh, okay. Saturday is what I call rage cleaning, and that's when I
You just
discover.
get so fed up that you just start throwing things away.
I discover all of the things my children have been hiding from me all week long, and there are various hiding spots that are not trash since we began the meeting today. I'm like, we began the Zoom, we began our chat this morning with that. And so, yeah, it's me with the sweat mustache hurling furniture around, swearing. So it's really not. If you really want to see what I look like, you can come for a Saturday morning rage cleaning.
So I was going to ask you because I pulled in this morning behind your wrapped vehicle and it has the Stephanie icon and there's some kind of liquid coming
Yeah.
off of her. I know what it is now.
Yeah,
it's the sweat mustache.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely a sweat mustache. My kids, when my friend Dave, who's a graphic designer and part of the Lemonade.io family, he's got 13 folds for a podcast. He designs so many great ideas. And my kids are like, Uncle Dave did you dirty. And I'm like, why? They're like, we don't like that cartoon. It looks like you're sweating a lot or spitting when you're talking.
I was like, which one is?
Could be both. I don't know.
Did she do that on purpose?
No. Apparently, that's how Dave sees me. Sweaty, chatty lady. I don't. Whatever. I'm fine with it. Not most rocks me to my. I definitely have developed a thick skin over the years of
But your icon has fabulous cleavage, so
That's
it all
She's got
equals
good
out.
boobs. What do you want? We can't have everything. Pick your
Balance.
poison, everybody.
As Lauren said, it's all about balance.
Absolutely. So I am going to a Bruins game on Saturday. Normally, I give these opportunities away. Just because I really don't have time for even myself half the time. So let
Yeah, I'm
alone
not sure
other-
when you sleep.
I don't. It's like shifts. They're like cat naps, little ones.
That tracks.
Where I wake up and I'm like, okay, what are we doing now? But now I'm afraid of missing life, so I'm living it to the fullest. So I'll probably
you.
keel over and just die at 50. I've accepted this lot in life because I've doubly lived my life.
Wow. All right. That's dark.
Right.
But okay.
I'm hoping for not. So I'm jumping on your bandwagon of trying to move my body so my heart doesn't die. So I've decided to take this opportunity. Friends of mine asked me 2 months in advance to set aside this moment so that we could go. And I've never been to a Bruins game, first off, because when I was growing up, I have immigrant parents, but my dad wanted us to take every opportunity to be American. We're Americans. This is what we do. But I was not allowed to go to a Bruins game because Bruins are for boys and it's dangerous.
Do you know how hockey works? Okay, so
I do know how hockey works, sort of.
Okay, so Doug, who's watching and is also an alum of the program,
Yep.
you can talk to Doug. He'll give you the whole, like, everything you need to know
Okay.
about how hockey works because he's been a hockey player for a long time.
I need it. I need, like, what is that? Like Cliff's Notes version of hockey for me.
Yeah, there's a puck.
I'm not that bad.
Okay, just making sure.
And I know that there are power plays, and I know there's some fighting, and I know the box, the penalty
Fighting.
box,
Not
and
fighting. There's fighting. There's fighting.
It's fighting. It gets scrappy. And well, I'm going to be in a box. So I've got the box seat. So it's not like I'm actually going to this with everyone else. But I'm really envisioning some sort of Southie accents all the time around me. I'm really going for the sights and sounds of Boston in particular.
I feel like you're going to get it.
Because when we say Massachusetts to people from where we live, they do not really understand. They think everybody's got that Macky Mac accent that talks like this and this Mickey Macky Mikey.
I only get that when I've been drinking.
I don't. I've been drinking, so I love that when I get to go. Especially, I feel like hockey people are those people.
Well, I mean,
That crowd.
You're there for the fighting. So.
I'm there for the fighting, and I'm there for Mickey, Macky, Mikey, and people screaming at the ref. This is really I've come for the full experience, and I really hope I get it.
I feel like your expectations are on point. On point.
Dorchester, I'm breaking things.
So as long as we're talking about the whole Boston thing,
Yes.
right? So I said to the
Doug, reach out. I got you.
So I said to the cohort, I'm like, I'm going on Stephanie's show, and my biggest challenge is that I need to try to clean up my blue language. And you've heard me though.
Is it that bad?
Well, okay. I didn't think so. But for like the last 2 days, I've been trying to practice not swearing. And it is making me realize just how obscene and vulgar I am all the time.
Right?
But-
It's something you don't notice.
Okay, but because I'm, how did we word this? A dork on your notes. Thanks. I can tell you that there is a scientific study around swearing.
That it's good, right?
If it is a sign of intelligence, there's a correlation between swearing and intelligence. Now, I have a conspiracy theory that this study,
Wait, you have a conspiracy theory?
this study was conducted by a bunch of eggheads who like to effing swear.
Yeah.
And so they had to convince their professors that this was actually them being really smart. But I don't care because I'm still going to use it to justify my language.
Yeah, and I also saw something that you're allowed to do it in the work. Like the more you do it in the workplace, the happier everybody is. And I was like, all
Absolutely.
right, whatever, it's fine. For me, it just makes. I've been a radio broadcaster since I was born, and so
Basically.
and also
She came out of the womb with a mic.
Right, yeah. And also I'm from very Irish Catholic parents where you just, and I went to Catholic high school and we were seen and not heard, which is probably why I am the way I am, because I just had to let it out. It had to
Okay.
get out.
This is fair because
Get out.
I was raised a Jehovah's Witness where swearing is a sin against God.
See?
So again, my pendulum swings a little too far
It
in the
has to
opposite
seep
direction.
out. That's like holding your hand over a hose while it's on. It's gonna get out. It has to happen. It's gonna happen. So I've accepted it. But also now when I hear people swear, I twitch. And even when my kids I don't even know what they sound like sailors. I don't know when it happened. I'm like, but I'm your mother. You're not supposed to say that
Well,
near
I
me.
forget.
They
I
don't direct it
forget.
at me. It's near me, but
I forget that for some people, the F word is actually offensive. And so every so often I'll drop something and like I see somebody twitch and I'm like, ooh, I forgot that's a naughty word.
and I'm not even offended. It's just one of those like a physical reaction, and I don't even know I'm like,
The
oh my
flinch.
God, okay, it's fine, everything's fine. You know the stuff that sometimes you don't want to react to, like when a kid hurts themselves, and you're like, if I don't react
Yep.
to it,
Don't cry.
They
Don't cry
won't
until
cry
they-
either.
Yep.
It's the same exact thing. I try to go slowly. I tread slowly. So I'm really proud of you. You've made it almost all hour without dropping any big
Impressive.
ones that
Impressive.
just flew out of there. You've only stifled yourself a couple of times. So I feel like this is a win for you. You can check this one off your list. Anything else you want to talk about before we leave?
Yes, I got one more. I
Get it in.
got a workshop coming up. It is a virtual workshop. It is a 5-part, 6-part if you do the bonus. It's Monday afternoons from 12 to 1:30, starting April 3rd-ish. It's the first Monday. It's starting the first Monday in April, and it's called.
That's how I work things too.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? The new month, new me.
Yeah. It's called Simple Steps to Start Your Business. If you're not ready to take on like the full fire hose of the accelerator, it's like pre-accelerator, really approachable, all on Zoom. Like, how do you even start thinking about a business?
I like that because it's really nice to start from the beginning. There's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have done the way I did it had I not.
We all
had
try
the
to jump to
bone-
the end.
Well,
We all try
that's
to jump
it.
to the end.
It's like,
And-
oh, I've got to have all the bones in place, but sometimes you got to figure out how bones are made before you start laying the bones. So yeah, there are some things that I would have recalculated, but now I'm in it and it's fine and I'm here. But I do like the pre.
Yeah, so for anybody who's like, okay, that whole accelerator nonsense sounds scary. It's a lot lighter, but we'll still get you kicked off in the right direction.
Yeah, I like that. Even like finding a name or like baby branding stuff. Or
Yeah.
like even there was one of the classes that I loved. It was like the color one. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh good, this is a light one today. Talk
What
about
color would you
feelings.
like? What
Yeah.
font would you like?
But I think it's good. It's they're all conversations that you don't think about all the time. And the insurance and the lawyers and the copywriting and the
Okay, I'm trying to get people to sign
All right,
up
we're-
for these programs.
We're doing light. We're doing it light. It's a light workshop, everyone. No, just get your foot in the door and even go watch one of the pitches or check some stuff out. But I do like that. And is there an age bracket? Can kids do this? Because I've had a lot of questions like 16, 17-year-olds that are kind of put together, have a great idea. Is that for them or is it?
Generally, it's 18 plus.
Okay.
Generally, just because a lot of the legal stuff you can't do until you hit that.
Yeah.
So it's 18 plus. And also because, especially the accelerator, it's way too intense.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Although did you have Nolan in your
No, he was
cohort?
after me. I got to deliver the big check, which has been
That's right.
It's something that has always been on my list of things. I've always wanted to give someone a
prize
big
patrol,
check.
the
I was
prize
really
patrol.
excited. So it was me and Jay, and they sent us to somewhere in Plymouth, and we're in this residential neighborhood, and we're trying to be, in incognito.
Okay, wait, back up. So for people who don't know, at graduation, some money gets awarded.
Yep.
And when we couldn't meet in person, we did a prize patrol.
Right. So here I am creeping through a cul-de-sac. Clearly we look like we were robbers. I'm surprised no one in this neighborhood did not call the police. Because Jay and I what are we doing? How are we going to go about this? We're going to walk over there. We're going to walk on the side. We're going to
dark.
walk on this lawn. Is this the neighbor's lawn? Is this not our lawn? Let's hide behind this bush. We looked like we were doing something nefarious in poor Nolan's neighborhood.
So Nolan runs Nolan's Nana Bread, which is banana bread, but with all these funky flavors. He does a pina colada one. He does a chocolate chip banana. He does all these kinds of things.
So cool.
And he's a 19-year-old entrepreneur who's just lovely. He's just lovely. And he's I decided that this is the track I'm going to take. I know I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And so this is what I'm doing.
And I love it. His family's so supportive.
His family's awesome.
Yeah,
I loved
right?
it.
Yeah.
When he won, and I don't know what family member it was, but he won, and he won what he asked for. So he won the full amount that he asked for. And I heard a family member go, oh, he got what he asked for. And I was like, oh, this makes me so happy.
Yeah. It is moments like that you totally live for. And I also lived for bringing a big check to somebody in the creepy dark of night with my friend Jay.
Okay, you feel like a creep. I'm the one who's Google earthing people's houses and getting pictures, and I'm sending out
I'm sending a recon.
Yeah,
we're going here. We're going in
literally.
here.
I'm okay, I gotta get a picture of the front of the house so people know where they're going. I'm gonna give you the GPS coordinates, and you feel like a creeper, dude.
That is a real happening that did occur. And yes, I apologize for everyone in the neighborhoods of entrepreneurs. You're gonna have to deal with the prize squad. It was like sweepstakes. It was awesome.
But we're in person. We're back in person now. So
that's awesome.
So I do miss the prize patrol, but it's fun to have a party in person.
Where does everyone find out about the workshops, about the accelerator, about the pitch competition?
If you go to eforall.org, and just look for communities where Massachusetts Cape Cod, or just hit us up on Facebook, E4All Cape Cod.
I just saw that another one in Maine. I told my girlfriend
Yeah, we
about
just opened
it.
one up in Maine. So we're growing, man.
And it's not just Cape Cod. It was so funny. I was in an event and I was in Boston, Jamaica Plain, and I'm sitting there with one of my pods, and it was an event for one of them. And all of a sudden, this woman, we're seated at a table, and I'm having this conversation, and she's like, "Oh, I did that. Why do you look so familiar?" I'm like, "I don't know why." We both did E4All.
Oh, which
and she
site?
had a radio station also that was featured on E4All. We were both coming from the same background, so she had remembered me just from the way I looked.
Oh, I love that.
And some other E4All things. So we got a photo of her and I together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm definitely going to post this at some point when I think of it or whatever. And she goes, it wasn't that hard to set up the radio station. I'm like, it's not setting it up.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
It's doing it.
And then all of her
grind.
friends with her were like, absolutely, please.
It's funny. We had, I think it was at maybe a Somerville farmers market.
Yeah.
That there was two people side by side. One was Roots and Spoon. She does farm fresh.
Oh,
with
she's
jar.
awesome. Yes.
She's awesome. And then the other
Laura.
one was, yes, Laura. And then the other one was Beulah's Buns. Which
Okay.
Is, and they were side by side, and they're chit-chatting with each other. And they were both in Somerville. Neither of them live on Cape Cod right now. And they're both alums of the Cape Cod program.
Isn't that funny?
So they were so I got a picture that was we found each other out in the wild.
See, and that's so cool to meet another. Once again, it's a sisterhood, it's a brotherhood, it's a group, it's your family.
E for all fam.
Yeah,
it is
for sure. And it was very, very cool.
You survived the trauma together.
High five,
Trauma
friend.
bonded.
We did. Totally. Totally. All right. With that, you guys have a fantastic weekend. Whatever it is, do it well. We're going to be at Knockabout. Oh, Sunday. I want to make mention. Sunday we'll be at Knockabout from 11 to 1. This is going to spill off until the afternoon. It is our brew release. So it's
your
called
Pink Boots thing.
Yeah, our Pink Boots celebration. And so it's a combination of a bunch of people. So the Pink Boots Society is female brewers that get together and they do scholarships and
Yep.
all kinds of really cool stuff.
They're a fun organization.
So I got to brew beer on International Women's Day with Meg and the crew over at Knockabout. And our brew is called Knock One Out. And it is a pale ale with mango flavor.
Ooh.
So I'm excited for that. But also Attican Acres is going to be there. My friend Rachel Kiley is fabulous. She's going to be doing a make and take event for the kids outside. Get your hands in the dirt and take away. So moms will be drinking beer inside and all the ladies. And then kids will be outside. We'll be playing some music. And we do a live every single week. So if you want to come talk about the community, come talk about your business, come talk about whatever it is that's bothering you on the Townie page, I will happily have you sit down and we will chat about it.
if you have nothing nice to say, come sit next to me.
Absolutely, right? I'll put the smile on. We'll turn this around. We'll turn this car right around. I'll do it. I mean it. So that's at Knockabout at 11 o'clock. Knockabout is on Lake Ave in Mashpee. And we'll see you out in the community. Ask Kai questions anywhere you see her.
Thanks,
She
Stephanie.
loves it.
I do, actually, which is dork right there on the page.
It's in black and white.